Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Lindsay, the Housewife historian, and I'm not going to play you guys my intro this morning. We're just going to go ahead and get started talking about some tea today, guys. And we're also going to, of course, be reviewing the Real Housewives in New Jersey. I'm actually 5 minutes early, so as you join the room, just go ahead and comment and let me know where you're from. Like I said, guys, I'm actually early today, so my subscribers aren't used to me being early for my lives. But we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're going to be talking about last night's episode. I would love for you guys to grade the episode like on a standard grading scale from like A to F. If you guys don't mind, throughout the chat, throughout the video, just drop what your opinion is. Like put an A minus, an F. Hey, Cancer Queen, how are you? Thanks for joining. I love to know where you guys are from. Hey, Angel Eyes. This is a disclaimer too, guys. I mean, we're talking about last night's episode, so if you didn't watch and you still want to watch, then this video is not for you because we're definitely going to be talking about last night's episode. Hi, No Legs. What did you guys think of last night's episode? If you had to grade it, Angel Eye says a B plus. Okay, I can take a B. That's generous, right? Don't you think? I mean, we got to see a lot of different dynamics, I guess, if you will. We're going to talk about all of that, of course. And we know that Teresa had a surprise shower. We saw how Melissa reacted. It was uncomfortable. It looked uncomfortable. Deb says, hi all. Hi, Lindsay. I'm giving you an A right off the bat. Pittsburgh. Yes, I love that. Hey, Angie for Justice. So glad all of you guys could make it today. I love to do a live a couple of times a week and talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I'm hearing. I love to get feedback from you guys because you always give great feedback. But before we do all of that, again, I am a little bit early, so we'll give everyone a second to get into the room. And make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to my channel, mostly because I bring all of my tea through YouTube. First, I make an effort to make sure that all the subscribers on my YouTube channel get all of the tea first before I take it to any of the other platforms, basically. I did just post a video, though, because I want you guys to see. Hopefully I can't get into my Instagram from my Chromebook. I'm having the worst time with that, and it's really dampering my life. But Melissa, she posted her new confessional look. She was like in a little tiny blonde or a little tiny like yellow latex dress, and she was giving out double peace signs and like duck lips and like long kind of wavy hair, and it was giving me very much Kim Kardashian. So I went and I looked up some photos of Kim Kardashian, and she is pretty much, her signature move has been giving the double peace sign. So I feel like she's trying to channel Kim Kardashian with her looks. You guys let me know what you think. Even with the blue dress that she wore to the reunion with the hood, it was a little bit of a Kim Kardashian vibe as well. Okay, Mama, I agree with you. She looked like she had a rough season. Like, she didn't look good. And I was wondering to see if she is going to say anything to Joe about what she said on the bus about drunk dialing her ex. Is she waiting to see if production's going to use it? Does she assume that production is going to hide it like they have things in the past? Why wouldn't she tell him that she said that? When Strippergate happened in the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the ladies found out that some of the things that transpired that night had made audio and there was video, they all came home to their significant others and started the story. You guys know what I'm talking about. They at least threw it out there a little bit, let him know it got a little crazy. Drew Sidor told her husband that the stripper grinded on her a couple of times, obviously downplaying what was really going on, but we didn't even get that from her. Kate Mama said, girl, you know she ain't gonna say nothing. But what is she going to say now that it's come out? You don't think that she wasn't going to say nothing? I thought she would be doing damage control, unless if she was so comfortable thinking that the producers would cut it and we wouldn't even have heard it at all. Just saying. That would be the only reason why. Let's see. Dolores and Teresa were my favorite dress. I agree with you. I loved Teresa's dress. It was beautiful. She looks amazing this year. I like her with the short hair. Dolores looked amazing, and most of the ladies looked amazing. I would have liked to have seen Marge in a different look. I think that look was just too young for her, right? I wish actually that we could have traded Jennifer and Marge's look. Like I would have loved to have seen Jennifer in what Marge was wearing, like the see-through little corset, and then like the but Jennifer looked amazing too. So they all looked amazing in their own way. I just think that sometimes Marge is a little bit too young for what she's wearing. Hey, Lindsay, do you know if there's any truth? Hold on, let's read this question before we get into everything. Hey, Lindsay, do you know if there's any truth to Joe and Mel getting Trey? And yes, yes, yes. I did a whole live on it, not yesterday, the day before. Obviously behind the scenes the rumors have been that there was a point in the reunion where Teresa allegedly confronts her brother about allegedly giving evidence or helping the federal government put together a case to indict Teresa and Joe. We went over a lot of the different speculations, okay? We went over, hypothetically, let's say he did. Hypothetically, let's say we know that there was a woman named Monica and she was married to a gentleman who felt like Juicy Joe owed him money. And Juicy Joe told him to go get fucked. Sorry, excuse my language, but that's what he did. He did it on camera. Chris Laredo tried to play peacemaker, yada, yada, yada. And Joe Giudice was like, you know what? Tell dude to go F himself, right? So that made that man mad. And obviously, they had done a lot of business dealings together. So he knew that Joe was probably doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. But at that time, so was everyone. That's why the market ended up crashing altogether, was because people, their land and houses, assets were getting overappraised, and the bank was loaning out more money than what people could afford to pay back. And they did it most of the time knowingly. However, they started her this gentleman's wife, her name is Monica. We actually see her season 3 or season 4. She's an attorney. She is Kim G, not to be confused with Kim D. She is Kim G's attorney. And I showed you guys posts from Kim G from back in the day talking about her badass lawyer, Monica, who was going to take Teresa Giudice down. Okay. There were also, I don't know if it was tweets or interviews, Monica talks about how she had to gather information to convince the federal government about the laws that Joe and Teresa were allegedly breaking. And allegedly, Joe, Teresa's brother, had a part in some of this. And allegedly to Kim D, there's a recording. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going to go through this kind of slow with you guys so that way you can keep up, because it's a lot of information. Let's go back to Monica. Monica is the wife, right? So Monica shows up at the Gorgas Christmas party. The Gorgas pretend like they don't know who Monica is. They pretend like they're going to ask Monica to leave because they love Teresa so much, and they know that there's legal confrontation between this woman and Teresa. And allegedly, earlier in the day, Teresa and Monica had words at the courthouse, the attorneys, something along those lines. And so when she arrived at the party with Kim G, Joe and Melissa said she had to go. She couldn't come to the charity event. They met her at the door. But here's the really messed up part. They acted like they didn't know who she was. They acted like they didn't know who she was, but they did know who she was because they had been doing business with her since as far back as 2003. And that's just what people can prove through business transactions, through real estate transactions, because Monica is an attorney, and she was named on different loans and deeds and transactions that transpired with Joe and Melissa throughout their years. Okay. So We know that they knew Monica and her husband, but we don't know if Teresa and Joe, Juicy Joe, realized that her brother and Melissa actually knew Monica and the husband, or that they had any sort of communication, probably knowing that Monica wanted to take Teresa down. Deborah makes a great point. First of all, Cooking Queen says, I read the papers of the Gorgas and Monica back in 2005. Um, Season 2 would have been like 2012 or 13, maybe. Cancer Queen says, I'm tired of Joe Gorga. He wants to be a housewife so bad. Cooking Queen says, so they've known each other from way, way back. Yes, please. 43 in the chat. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Okay. So Monica comes to the party, and the Gorgas pretend like they have no idea who she is, just that her and her husband are suing Teresa and Joe. So they say, okay, you have to leave our party. Well, like I said, fast forward, we find out that they've known each other for many, many, many years. So then we look at it the perspective. Let's say hypothetically, Joe and Melissa behind closed doors make a pact with each other, and they say, you know what, Joe is no good for Teresa, and he's breaking the law, and he's putting them in debt, and we deserve to help my sister get out of this, and the only way to do that, we got to help turn him in, and if he gets in trouble with the government, then maybe she'll see what a terrible guy he is. And I mean, who knows what they said, but they could have easily made a pact. Now, another thing people aren't incorporating, here's another factor I'd like to bring to you guys. We have to remember that MG has a lot of support through her family. Her family is a very supportive family. Her dad had 3 brothers, her mother, the aunts, her sisters, all of it. She has a lot of family. And I don't want to say that they're fame hungry, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but I think that they enjoy some of the attention and the luxuries of having a cousin who's famous. They've said that on her podcast. So therefore, they are happy to run offense online against trolls and bots and whomever, because there's lots of them. Okay, when we go back to the blogs before there was anything else, before the show even started, there was a blog in Franklin Lakes that was talking about a Bravo show coming there, about these women, yada, yada, yada. I did a video on this. My point is, there was an anonymous account that was pinned as MG. And there was another one that was pinned as her sister. And her sister said that she wasn't going to name herself because this was her niece's account, and yada, yada, yada. So right there, they were already using each other's accounts, and they were using the internet and posting on blogs negative things about Teresa's family. And it wasn't just MG, it wasn't just her sister, it was a whole well-oiled machine of these people. And so they are online, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and they're waiting to pounce on any creator or somebody that says something they don't like, they think's too far, they don't think is true. And if you argue with them about it, they're going to come at you even more. I told my subscribers a couple of days ago about a woman who's on Twitter who has cancer. She's battling cancer. She's getting chemotherapy. She talks about it a little bit on her Twitter, and her handle is something like Tree Hugger something. She's not an extreme tree hugger. She's not out here telling Melissa to go unalive herself. None of those things. She's not posting anything outrageous. And this is what frustrates me about her team. There are so many other people that are saying so many worse things, like those photos that got released of her brother-in-law taking selfies of himself in the fucking bathroom and sending them to God knows who. And you're not going to go after them, but you're going to go after this woman who's suffering. She's just online as like a fan, and she's just in the mix of giving her opinions. Side note, guys, I tell everyone has a seat at the table in my channel, at my channel. I appreciate, we can't all have the same queens, we can't all love the same people. It's great to have opposing opinions, and as long as you do it respectfully to each other and to me, we can have really great conversation about Bravo and about the Housewives. So it's really just about your presentation. But back to the woman on Twitter who is battling cancer and going through chemotherapy. They attacked this woman in the DMs so badly. It was disgusting. There was not 1 ounce of human decency in those DMs that they sent that woman. And I am not joking in the least. I was in prison for 3 years with evil people that were even child whatever. And I know when somebody has no value of anyone else's life and no human decency, and these people do not have it. After what they did to me, I thought maybe they were just making an example out of me. I thought at one point possibly they were pushing me to release things um that would be could be detrimental um in a plan to separate, if you will, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But regardless, I think I realized more so they just literally have no human decency. They don't value anyone but each other. And I mean, there's like no in between. It's like you are either with them or you are dirt beneath their feet. And if this is what they did to Teresa all these years, I can surely assure you that it's probably been way, way, way worse than what we've seen on tweets and on Instagram. And Teresa probably chose not to talk about it because Melissa made a point at one of the reunions when she says Andy's asked her something when they put their house up for sale. Andy Cohen said, "Why, Melissa, why would you guys be putting your house up for sale? Remember, he gave her the plans on Christmas morning and she cried and it was their dream home and yada, yada, yada. Why are you putting your house on the market?" And you know what her response was? "I don't want my kids going to school with her kids." But they don't go to school together, Melissa. That doesn't make any sense. And Teresa's like, if my kids were here right now and Antonia and your kids right now, they would embrace them and love them. And Melissa like kind of started to cry and was like, well, I just know how girls are, and I only have one daughter, and she has four, and they'd be ganging up on her. And I'm thinking, no, that's just how your family operates. That's how your sisterly family dynamic operates. Like, you guys operate as a one, and everyone has to have the same opinion and the same target. And there's always got to be somebody that you going at, right? Like, you can kind of tell a little bit from them. And her sisters are older, so I think more so she probably has led and followed in their direction on how to handle certain social skills, social settings, social issues. um if you guys remember back at the christening when everything happened and they were sitting at the table, it was Joe and Melissa and Melissa's sister and her husband, and they were eating and they were talking about how classy they were. They were so classy. And they like had ranch dripping down their face. I mean, it's like they believe it though. It's wild. I think he's the one that had the photos of himself in the mirror. He has his hand like behind his head like this. I'm just saying. Why wouldn't you go after them? Why are you going after this lady on Twitter that has cancer? Like, what? Go after these fucking accounts that are actually saying something that people are listening to. Why are you guys harassing little accounts? People that are just trying to make it. Ugh. 56, please hit the chat. Please hit the like button. Thank you and show your support for my piping hot tea. I pridge you. Deb said, did I hear something wrong? What's wrong, Deb? What'd I say? Deb says, wait, you were in prison, Lindsay. Did you work there? She's so funny. No, I worked within the prison for a unit manager. And I also, yes, I was in prison for 3 years. But I'm the poster child of reintegration now. So I actually have like went back and spoken to the ladies, and I now work for a facility where I help women who are reintegrating back into society that may have mental health and or addiction issues, dual diagnosis, reintegrating. And I work with a lot of women who are in children's service programs too. So definitely trying to give back a little bit of what I learned, and the messages and the support of people who have messaged me and said, I'm 20 years sober. I just don't tell anyone. I mean, the people who have messaged me and told me about their sons or their daughters who are sick and suffering, it was unreal. So what happened is they were trying to use that to humiliate me. And so therefore they wanted to humiliate me. And so they were posting it on Galaxy X. Says Melissa talks kills your views. So help you by finding other things to talk about. We would love to see you more talking about everything, not Melissa. I'm so proud. I didn't know. I have a whole new respect for you. Thank you, Angel Eyes. Yeah, that was the whole thing, guys. My mom had committed suicide when I was 19, and that created a like whirlstorm of anxiety and depression and mental health issues that I had not known how to handle. And so I had a couple of bad years and I hung around bad people and I got into some trouble. And, you know, you can cooperate or you can go to prison. And so I did 3 years in prison 10 years ago. And then, like I said, I came out. I'm actually certified through my state. And I work in a facility that works with women who are recovering and reintegrating back into society and helping to reduce recidivism. So, okay, let's get back to Real Housewives of New Jersey. But let me share this last comment here. Jersey Girl says, I'm a recovering addict, and this created a whole new bond. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, I try to be really gentle because I understand some people don't have an understanding for mental health or addiction issues. However, there are so many people dealing with it. There's really, I mean, there's not one person that addiction or depression or anxiety or suicide has affected. I come from a long line of people who've committed suicide. Like when people say that stuff's not generational, it could likely be very generational. So mental health is very important, and my job is very rewarding now. I'm so thankful and blessed, and I have been blessed every year. My blessings double because of everything that my higher power has done. And so I'm happy to help any of you guys. If you ever have any questions, you can comment. You can find me on Instagram, HW Historian. You can also find me on Twitter. I'm happy to chat with you. I do read all my DMs and messages. You guys, sometimes I just get behind because I work another job with my girls, and I don't always get on and keep up as fast as I would like to. So let's get back into last night's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. We got to see Teresa's bridal shower. She really looked amazing. We met some key players in Louis' family. We met his sister, Veronica, who is from California. She actually officiates the wedding. I wanted to know how you guys feel about the sister officiating the wedding and how you feel about her um in general. Like, did you get a good vibe from her? Did she feel warm? I think she is the sister that's actually been, she came up with this program to help like a forgiveness program, but it's through an app, and I think they have you do like, you know, daily readings and journaling and questions and whatever it may be. But I think she created it, and I think that's the program that Teresa was working to try to work through everything that was happening with Joe and Melissa. Because if you guys remember, we heard her about her at therapy and we heard her talk about Louis' sister's program, but we haven't really seen it during the season. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was a little peculiar to me, but maybe we'll hear more about it. Um, Crystal, let me read some of my comments here. Crystal McKee, 10 months sober. Love you and thank you. It's been a tough road, but well worth it. Crystal, keep making the right decisions, Sissy. It's so worth it. I'm like, let me see, what year is it? I think I forgot. I'm like 9 years. I was 9 years in January. Let's see here. We love how you share life with us and helping others and people who have had rough time. We admire and love. Thank you so much, Deb. That was so beautiful. Trish says, how about Melissa saying she boiling when she drew Joe's family in Ireland? I didn't see one tear, only a fake sniffle. And does anyone else notice that? I noticed that she had sunglasses on the entire episode. Um, I don't know if it was just because she was hungover or if she really wasn't as upset as she wanted us to think. I felt, you guys can leave me your opinions, of course. To me, it felt like Teresa was very genuine. Teresa was very emotional. I said this last week. Teresa's very emotional to getting married. She's very emotional, guys. She, if we saw her at the beginning, the girls go in for their fittings. Her four daughters look like freaking supermodels. How do you have four daughters that beautiful that look like that? I mean, my gosh, what a blessing. Seriously, because usually if you got a couple kids, like one of them misses the mark, and like there's an ugly duckling, if you will, not even, but all four daughters, like their bodies are amazing. They're beautiful. They're smart. Like Melania helps autistic children and her side time, and Gia's going to school and she's advocating for people who have immigrant, rights. And so it's really amazing to see what Teresa's daughters are doing with their life. And I think in that moment, it must have really just touched your heart. And then they call her dad, right? And you have to think, would Teresa and Joe still be married if he wouldn't have been deported? What do you guys think? Please comment. I want to know. Do you guys think that Teresa and Joe Giudice, even say hypothetically, if you went to prison for 3 years, do you think Teresa would have waited the 3 years and they would have stayed married? What do you guys think? I think they would have. I think that she was in it for the long run. I think she loved him very much. I think that his family, you guys have to remember Joe Giudice's mom and dad was best friends with Teresa and Joe's mom and dad. Okay. Fun fact, Teresa will tell you that Joe Giudice's mom and dad drove her mom to the hospital when she was in labor to have Teresa, right? Like they have been generational family friends for all of these years. So you have to say that their camaraderie, it means something, because we know that when Teresa was away, that they were all there. They were helping Joe Giudice. We know that Bravo approached Juicy Joe's brother and wife, whom there was some conflict between Teresa and Sheila. I don't even know what even knows what it was about, but Bravo approached them and they said no. They did, they weren't about that life, but they were there to help the girls and help while Teresa was away. And we talk about Melania's party and about how all of her cousins on her dad's side were there, but unfortunately, Antonia did not make it. Some people were online saying that the meet wasn't that far away and she could have met her, and other people are saying the meet was too far away. There's no way she would have made it. So it's kind of just like a debate, I guess. But maybe if she couldn't have made it, she could have done something else special in replace of not being able to make it, like send her a cute little video or something that they could have played on like the whiteboard. I don't know, just something to kind of show that you're special. I love you. You're my cousin, and I'm sorry I can't be there with you. Maybe it was like the lack of acknowledging that. So let's see here. Let's go read some comments, guys. Um, Sherry says, I don't think Teresa and Joe would have still been married because Teresa blamed Joe for missing time with her mom before she passed away. I agree with you 100%. However, is her anger going to go towards her brother? Is that anger going to shift from Joe Giudice to her brother, knowing that her brother possibly helped give the government information that helped indict them and cause them to go to prison? Did you talk about Marge Sr. talking crap about Teresa and Troutmouth and Lexi all piling on? I know, and I felt like let me say hi to Yo Yo. Hi Yo Yo, I miss you. We have to chat and catch up. I'm sorry. Okay, Crystal. Yes, I at first I wanted to. I felt like Marge was she like tricked me for a second because she seemed really endearing. Like, Marge or Lexi's living in the pool house with her son, and it's so nice to have so many people back in the house, and we love Lexi. Lexi's been here with me through my divorce, through my business. It's nice to have young people in the home again. It's nice that Joe is there for the little boy. All of these things, and I did think for a moment, like, wow, that's really beautiful. But you know what? She did the same thing to Laura Lee Jensen. Oh, your family. We love you. Thank you. We've been friends for years and years. You're our family now. You're our chosen family now. Lexi and your son, come live with us. Joe's going to help with the little boy. I'm just saying. She did the same thing with Laura Lee until she got mad at her, and then she was like, you're not coming to Christmas, so you are no longer a part of our family. Because we're not a real family, I can cut you off a lot easier than if we were like actually family. That's just my opinion. And then yes, they were all talking shit, which I was surprised. And what is their accent? What is their accent? People say Lexi's British. I said she was British too. And then someone said, no, she's from freaking Connecticut. And if so, then what the hell is her mother's accent? I'm looking it up. Good God, I can't take these people and these made up accents. What is that? Dorit makes up her accent too, and she's from Connecticut. What is Lexi's last name? Where is Lexi from RHONJ from? Obviously, other people have Googled it because it popped right up. Oh, okay. She was born in New Jersey. And her last name is Manzo. Lexi Manzo? This one says Lexi Barbuto, Margaret's assistant and creative director, who was also making herself at home. Lexi and her son Nino are keeping Joe company back at home because recently they moved into the guest house. Margaret shared during a talking head on April 25th episode. Lexi got separated, so she said move so we said move in with us because we can't pay our bills anyway. So you know what? I would like to pay you as my creative director, but I don't have any money. So why don't you move in and live here for free and then you can work for me? It's a win-win. No? Anyone? Oh, look, here's one of the questions. What is Lexi's accent? Lexi doll. I guess she must have. Oh, the Lexi doll. Sorry, this is not the same Lexi. Let me see if there's an article under here, though. What's it say? Fans don't think. Okay, now they're calling her Lexi doll. Who is. I'm so confused. How many names does she have? Who is Lexi Doll from RHONJ and what does she do for Margaret Josephs? Lexi began working for Margaret in 2008, so they have been together a very long time, as a director of marketing at her brand, the Macbeth Collection. That was the company that got sued because they said another company said they stole like their emblem. According to Lexi's LinkedIn, she studied fashion design at Leeds Arts University in England before joining Margaret's business. In 2019, she received a promotion to be a creative director of Margaret's brands. When Margaret joined RHONJ in season 7, Lexi became known for being the Bravo star's right-hand woman during her events. Lexi Doll also co-hosts Margaret's podcast, Caviar Dreams and a Tuna Fish Budget. Lexi, Dina's daughter, that's the Manzo. Lexi, Dina's daughter, that's the Manzo. No, that's not Dina. That's not Dina's daughter, Lexi. They're from the UK. I thought Lexi was from the UK. No, it's saying that she studied there, but she's actually not from the UK. She's from New Jersey. She went to England and studied at Leeds Arts University. And then when she came back by 2019, she was working with Margaret. Um, so while Lexi Doll does contribute to her boss's projects, viewers have claimed she doesn't do anything that warrants a creative director title and despise seeing her called that, almost as much as they despise her British accent. Wow. And then there's like followed by some comments. Wait, Margaret Josephs considers Lexi Doll her sister. While several viewers claim Margaret needs a new creative director, she seems perfectly content with Lexi. On their respective Instagram pages, fans can see possible photos of Lexi spending time with Margaret's family. Lexi thanked Margaret for hosting her 41st birthday party in one post, which occurred around Christmas in 2021. Is that the Christmas that they ousted Laura Lee Jensen? 2021. It is. Was it? So it would have been the Christmas. They would have doused her at Christmas, and then she would have met with Teresa and Jennifer the following year. 22 maybe. Yeah, it would have happened in 2022. So it would have been Christmas of 2021 that she uninvited Laura Lee Jensen. Precisely. The Bravo star also posted the birthday bash on her timeline and called her creative director her ride or die. She was doing that to get back at Laura Lee Jensen, guys. Do you see that? Think about it. Christmas of 2021, Laura Lee Jensen said the thing that the straw that broke the camel's back was they had been spending Christmases together all through childhood because Laura Lee didn't have, like, I don't know, really close family friends, something along those lines, okay? So they always celebrated Christmas together like family. Well, that coming Christmas, Laura Lee didn't get an invitation. And she said that's when she knew that her and Margaret were just done, because she had told Margaret, like, as long as you have me, you always have family. Like, you always have someone. You always have somewhere to go on Christmas. And so when she did that, Laura knew that that was the end of their relationship. And it looks like Margaret was also teasing Laura Lee by posting photos and of Lexi's 41st birthday. Margaret hosted it, posted a ton of pictures. It occurred on Christmas Day in 2021. The Bravo star also posted the birthday bash on her timeline and called her creative director her ride or die. Margaret expressed her appreciation for Lexi's role in her life. Quote, Lexi, who works with me, is like my sister, the RHONJ star told Bravo's Daily Dish. Lexi's like Joe's daughter. She's like my sister. We are together all the time. We have a very extended family. So she's doing all of that on purpose on Christmas Day to get Laura Lee upset. I'm going to text her. I want to text her right now, but I can't because I'm on my phone. But I'm going to guarantee that it was Christmas of 2021. Seriously. I would have to sign off and sign back on. I could try to sign on here and turn my camera off if you guys want. Do you want me to find out for sure if it was Christmas of 2021 when all that happened? If so, I can make a phone call. If you want me to, I will. Okay, I'll just keep going. Anyways, let's see here. Yeah, so I think there is something weird going on there too. I don't know what it is. They probably are not. I agree. Marge is nothing but a bully. Oh, that's so mean. Yes, yes. Oh, you guys want me to find out? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log in from my Chromebook. I'm just not gonna put my camera on because it looks bad from the perspective that it is. And then that way I can use my phone. I'll sign off with my phone. Hold on one second. Because if so, that means she was doing all of that on purpose just to get back at Laura Lee. So it wouldn't have been that she just didn't invite her. She also got on Twitter and started talking about how amazing Lexi was and how she was like her sister and she loved her so much. Wow. I hope I can find the article again too. Hold on one second. I think it was this article. Yes, it is. It was this article. Okay, perfect. Let me get on here real quick. I'm going to enter my studio. Let me make sure I'm on mute. Make sure you guys are commenting. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a second here. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off over here. And then I'll be on the other like avatar. So just hang tight, guys, okay?